It started on an ordinary morning. The village bustled with life, the scent of roasted maize mingling with the sweet aroma of wildflowers. But beneath this idyllic scene, a darkness brewed. My stepmother, Yemi, wore a mask, not a physical one, but one of deception. A cheerful African village at sunrise, with women pounding yam and children playing. Yemi is in the foreground, smiling sweetly, but her shadow appears twisted, subtly foreboding. A faint humming, growing louder as the mask's power awakens. I stumbled upon it by accident, a mask buried deep in Yemi's room, wrapped in crimson cloth. Its surface shimmered like the river under the moonlight, and it pulsed with an unspoken power. Yemi caught me holding it, her face pale as ash, her voice trembling as she whispered, "That mask can change everything." The mask's patterns seemed to swirl and shift, casting faint shadows on the walls. There was a creak of a door, hushed voices, and the distant croak of frogs. That night, I overheard her plan. Yemi had made a deal with the mask spirits. She wanted to gain the chief's favor, but at the cost of my father's life. The mask, she said, demanded a sacrifice, someone pure, someone loved. That someone was me. I crouched in the shadows outside a hut. Yemi was inside speaking to the glowing mask. Her silhouette looms ominously, hands gesturing wildly. I ran. Into the forest, into the unknown. The mask's whispers followed me, taunting me with promises of safety if I returned. But I knew better. I had seen its power in Yemi's eyes, and I refused to be its pawn. Shadows seemed to reach for me, and faint glowing eyes appear in the darkness. Soft chanting and the crackle of a fire. I wasn't alone for long. Deep in the forest, I found a circle of elders around the fire, their faces painted with ash and ochre. Outcasts who had fled the mask's curse generations ago. I sat in their midst, holding the mask. They spoke of its origins and how it could only be destroyed by returning it to the sacred river where it was forged. They gave me their blessings, and with their chants guiding me, I set off on the most dangerous journey of my life. Thunder rumbling, the roar of the river. Yemi found me at the riverbank, her face twisted with desperation. She begged me to return the mask, claiming it was her only chance of a better life. But I saw the truth in her eyes, fear. Fear of losing her power, fear of being unmasked. I plunged the mask into the river. I stood resolute, the mask glowing fiercely as Yemi reaches out in despair. The river's roar fades into a soft, calming flow. The mask dissolved in the water, its whispers silenced forever. Yemi fell to her knees, sobbing, her face transformed by remorse. She begged for forgiveness, and for the first time, I saw her not as a villain, but as a woman broken by her own choices. We returned to the village together, not as enemies, but as family. Yemi and I walked side by side at sunrise, the village visible in the distance. The forest behind us seemed lighter, less menacing. A soft, haunting hum that fades into silence. Months after we destroyed the mask, whispers began again. But this time, they were different. They spoke not of power, but of forgiveness, of healing. The elders said the mask spirit had transformed, its dark power cleansed by the river's sacred waters. The sacred river at dawn, with faint, glowing tendrils of light rising from the water and dispersing into the sky. The rustle of leaves, the distant hum of drums. Yemi and I became keepers of the mask story, traveling to villages to warn others of its dangers. Each place we visited felt lighter, as though the mask's curse had lifted not just from our village, but from the land itself. Myself and Yemi speaking to a group of villagers under a sprawling baobab tree. Children sit in awe as they recount their tale. The soft lapping of water, a gentle breeze. Our journey ended where it began, at the river. We built a shrine, not to worship the mask, but to honor the lesson it had taught us, that power without purpose corrupts, and forgiveness is the strongest force of all. A simple shrine by the river, adorned with flowers and candles. The sunrise bathes the scene in golden light, symbolizing hope and renewal. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like and share for more exciting and engaging stories.